This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Blak, and government shutdown is finally over. Thank God. God bless you all of you, people who I know personally, people I don't know personally, friends, family, what have you. Everybody who was affected by this stupid government shutdown. Thankfully, we got an announcement that the government will be reopening and people who work for the government will be getting their back pay. Now, one of the problems is there's about 1 million contractors who won't be getting back pay, so they're still struggling. And I feel for you guys. Hopefully, there'll be some options laid out so that can help you guys recover your debt, get your bills in order. Trust me, having gone through the medical issues that I've gone through, while I don't know exactly how it is, I know what it's like to miss out on a paycheck or two, or to miss partially paid part of your paycheck and to try to recover things. It is not good, and I'm sure for you guys it's even worse. So my prayers to all of you. I wish I could do more. I wish I were able to do the things that some amazing people around this country has been doing. All the restaurants and stores that have been offering food and things like that, giving away products to help these families along while they struggle, to keep their families eating, whatever people have done, all of you guys who volunteered and giving up stuff to help these people. You guys are amazing, and we need more people like you in this country, and everybody who supported these people in any way. You're champions, and you deserve all the praise you get. But let's get back to the subject at hand, the government shutdown. So, what did we shut this government down for 35 days for? At the beginning of the shutdown, right before, there was a deal made where even the Republican-led House of Representatives and the Senate agreed to. In fact, the Senate voted 100-0 to ratify the deal that would keep the government open, as well as leave negotiations on the table towards funding this border wall that Trump wants. Trump was going to agree with it, then he said no. He said he'd be proud to have the government shut down over this issue, because if you're not going to give them the money now, then nobody's getting any money at all. All these federal workers, 800,000 federal workers and 1 million contractors aren't going to get paid until I get money for this wall. So the shutdown goes through. They try to push through all these bills. The same bill, the House of Representatives continually voted on. They put it up. Mitch McConnell decided, I'm not going to allow the Senate to vote. There will be no vote on this. Mitch McConnell, sided with Trump. We're not going to vote on this. Not until we get money for the wall. We're not going to vote on this. Okay? Flash to this past Friday, January 25th. An agreement was struck. What is the agreement? To let the government stay open, not to give any money for the border wall, but to keep negotiations on the table towards it. The same fucking deal that was put on the table 36 days before this whole thing started was the agreement that they came to. What was this all for? This was all for nothing. Think about this. He left almost 2 million people without means to support themselves or their family, to agree to the thing that he wouldn't agree to, that he was given 36 days ago. He essentially ruined people's lives to say, okay, I give up, we'll do it your way. I don't understand how people are still in support of this guy. Seriously, I really need someone, and I would appreciate a full rebuttal to this. So, feel free. Explain to me, what is it about this man that makes people
not realize, I mean, I realized it from the beginning. A lot of us realized from the beginning. He's a fucking grifter. He's a con artist. He's a charlatan. He's a carny huckster at best. He is not presidential material. He's not even a good businessman. The art of negotiation, he has none. His whole thing is, I'm going to throw a fit and I'm going to try to bully my way into things. And if I don't get it, fuck it. I'll just blame you for the whole thing and pretend like, hey, I didn't have anything to do with this. Because that's what he did during his speech. He essentially tried to say, yeah, they agreed to border wall security. No, they didn't. That's why they're negotiating now. They said they agreed to negotiate. He kept saying how they were adamant that this is important. No. If it was that important, they would have threw the money. In fact, it was important at one point. A lot of people forget, and this is like the history of this guy, and this is why I need you guys to really, really understand how horrible he is. Remember the DACA, the Dreamers Act? Democrats were so desperate to get that pushed through, they offered him $25 billion. $25 billion, not the 5.7 that he's threw a fit over this last month and a half for. $25 billion if he would leave DACA alone. That's all he had to do. But his xenophobia and his racism were so huge. Plus, again, this guy's not a good businessman. He wants to be all or nothing. He wants to get his way or he gets nothing at all. He decided, fuck you. I will not take $25 billion towards what I want if I have to give something. That's not how life works. That's not how real life works. And that's the thing I really need people to understand. It's not that this guy doesn't understand how business works or how politics work. He doesn't understand how life works. This is a man who inherited his money. This is a man who's had other people running his businesses and bailing him out. He comes up with these grand ideas. Look through his history. Look through all the Trump Towers and the casinos and things like that. Where have they all gone? They all have pretty much fallen. His name is the only thing that has not fallen so far. And that's probably going to go now with all of this investigation stuff, because if his party, his campaign did work with Russia, he's fucked, because he was a part of a conspiracy. And now his name is going to be gone, because his brand is the only thing that pretty much sells for him right now. Look at look at the businesses that he's done. Bankruptcy. Just about every one. You don't believe me? Ask William Burr, his Secretary of Commerce. That man made a fucking living off of Trump, bailing him out of his financial woes. He should know. He has the receipts. Go check it. In fact, you don't even have to. Just Google Trump and bankruptcy and look how much stuff will come up. The man is horrible at business, at negotiating, at making deals, at running things. He's not good. He has a disconnect from reality. And you guys let him take your xenophobia, your racism, your sexism, your homophobia. He took all of those people with all of these fears, and all he did was just play at them. That's all, because he's a grifter. That's what a grifter does. He finds out what he thinks people want to hear, and he tells them over and over and over again. And then they be like, yeah, I'm on board with this. This guy really wants what I want. Well, he probably don't want half of this stuff. Mind you, I do think he's a racist. But at the same time, he don't give a fuck about you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what's going on around the world, he doesn't care. He has money. He feels like he could do whatever he wants. If the wall is gone, okay, these quote-unquote hordes that are coming over the border and all that stuff, they're not bothering him. He's hiring them. He has them working in his hotels and in his businesses. Fuck, he don't care. It's all about his ego. All he really wanted at the end of the day was to say, I did it. And that's the thing. You guys are championing a guy who all he wants to do is to prove people that he's better than what he is. And I understand, because if you look at it and you look at his base and you think about it, a lot of those people feel like they are kind of left out because of their views, because of their feelings. You know, again, the homophobia, the racism, the sexism, all that stuff in these days aren't celebrated like they were. It's not cool to openly do that anymore the way you used to do it. You know what I mean? Yes, it still exists and it still gets, like, you know, unfortunately glossed over by certain people and certain powers. But for the most part, people are fed up with it and they don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to be bothered with that shit. And all that shit that they don't want to be bothered with is what his base likes. And they feel like they've been downtrodden. Like, no, like, progression, what? Inclusion, what? You know, actually treating people decent, you know, what? I want to be able to do what I want, say what I want, treat people how I want, and not have any repercussions. And Trump sold that dream to them. The thing that people didn't pay attention was, while he was selling you that dream, he wasn't going to do the things that you needed, like secure your finances, secure your health care, make sure that you're able to feed your family and provide, you know, all the things you need in life. Because he doesn't know what he's doing in those aspects. He's never wanted for anything. He's never needed anything in his life. He's pretty much gotten everything he wanted. So, sure, he'll throw out a bill or something, say this is for you. And if it falls, I'll blame somebody else and I'll move on because it's not that serious. Don't affect me. That's the guy that you picked. That's the thing. He just said what you wanted to hear, but he doesn't give a fuck about any of that stuff because none of that stuff matters to him. And it's like, it kills me how no one, like, there are people who are now waking up, and for you, you know, thank God you still, like, got a lot to answer for actually falling for that bullshit. But at the same time, hey, people can redeem themselves, do better, and make better choices in the future. But for all of y'all who are still stuck on this motherfucker, seriously, y'all need help. This country is at a point now that most of us don't like. And we would like for it to be better, including for you guys, for you people who support him. And that's the thing. The people who get mad at people who don't like Trump don't realize that it's not about hurting you. It's about how he's hurting everybody and how we want to make things better for everyone, not just for you. That selfish attitude that he has, that you guys follow, that shit needs to stop. This isn't the move. This isn't the way the world works anymore. Can't be that way if we're going to progress and things are going to get better. And it starts by making sure that this guy does not get to do what he wants to do, because he is an ineffective leader. His policies are harmful and detrimental to society, and we need better. We need to make a better world for all of us, and it's not going to be with him. So he needs to get the fuck up out of here. I'm so glad that this shutdown is over. Basically, though, with the shutdown going into hiatus, quote unquote, because they said that it's 3 weeks that they're budgeting for. Let's be real. He's not getting this wall. At least he's not going to get it the way he wants. What's going to happen is he's going to have to use that national state of emergency thing to try to allocate military funding. He's going to do that, and then it's going to be tied in red tape in courts, because there are legal ramifications to this. There are possibly points of argument where they can shut that down as well. That federal courts, circuit courts can put an injunction on that. If they put an injunction on that, it's going to go bouncing back and forth, back and forth. This man has 2 more years in his term, people. And all the shit that he's gone through, especially with this government shutdown, which is probably the nail in his political coffin, that's just going to get tied up in so much red tape that by the time that anyone gets around to actually trying to do something, there's going to be a new administration in, and they're going to just like nullify all of that and just like, let's just drop it. So think about that. This wall, this dream that he sold everybody, everything, getting rid of Affordable Care Act, didn't happen. Tax reform, making things better for people, made things worse for a lot of people, didn't happen. Now the border wall, not going to happen. All his major promises, all the things that he said that he was going to do for the people to make America great again, ain't going to happen. So what are you left with? You're left with a president who made a bunch of ridiculous promises, stirred up the worst in human beings, and made things like made society look at itself in a much more deeper like way and not like what they see, and possibly put a lot of people in financial ruin. Because this thing didn't just touch the federal workers. Think about the businesses that lost money because people weren't out spending. Think about, you know, all of the stores that couldn't afford to pay all their employees because I can't give hours when nobody's coming in. Why am I paying you to come in? You know, think about the like people who worked at museums and things like that. I live in Washington, D.C. A lot of our like, you know, economy is based on tourism. That was gutted. Our local transportation system is one of the like busiest in the world. It supports government workers who come from Maryland, Virginia, and within the city of DC, going back and forth to work. Those people weren't going to work. They weren't swiping their cards at the turnstile and going in and getting on the trains or getting on the buses. That's lost revenue for them. You know, a lot of people were affected in this. It wasn't just the government people. They were hit the hardest, but a lot of people have had residual effect from this. The economy will reflect that soon. Mark my words. So what has this man brought to the table? What has he done? Clean the swamp? Make America great again? I think not. You guys need to wake up and get, like, seriously. Republicans, you guys, conservatives, get your party back. Take it from this man and these delusional people who support this guy. Get them the hell up out of here and find some more reasonable, respectable conservatives. I'm not saying that you have to lean towards, you know, liberals things or anything like that, but conservatism isn't what it was. We all know this. The Republican Party is just a mess. Fix your shit. Seriously. Clean your house as well. Start by cleaning out this clown. For the love of God, please. Sorry this video is so long, but I just had to get that shit off my chest. Anyway. As always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Blak Magazine. I'm out. Deuces.